The sun rises over the Cambodian jungle, painting the sky in gold and crimson. From the horizon emerges a silhouette, towers of stone carved like lotus buds, mirrored in a vast moat. This is Angkor Wat, the Temple of the Gods, the largest religious monument on Earth. Built nearly 900 years ago, it remains one of humanity's greatest wonders. Its walls stretch for miles, engraved with epic tales. Its towers pierce the heavens, aligned with the stars. Its corridors whisper of kings and gods, devotion and power. Yet Angkor Wat is more than architecture. It is myth made stone, faith forged in eternity. Who built this colossal temple? Why does it mirror the cosmos itself? And how did it survive the fall of an empire to still stand in majesty today? Tonight, we uncover the secrets of Angkor Wat, Temple of the Gods. In the early 12th century, the Khmer Empire stood as the mightiest power in Southeast Asia. From its capital at Angkor, kings commanded armies, ruled vast lands, and oversaw intricate networks of canals and reservoirs. Among them rose King Suryavarman II, a ruler with vision. He dreamed of a temple that would embody the cosmic order. A temple not of wood or clay, but of stone eternal. His architects and artisans were tasked with a divine mission, to replicate heaven on earth. Thus began Angkor Wat. Stretching across more than 160 hectares, it was designed not merely as a sanctuary, but as the empire's spiritual heart. Its layout mirrored Mount Meru, the mythical axis of the universe. Its galleries told of gods, demons, and cosmic battles. Angkor Wat was not just a temple, it was the Khmer Empire's declaration of grandeur, stone proclaiming their place among the gods. To build Angkor Wat was to defy the possible. Millions of sandstone blocks were quarried from mountains more than 30 kilometers away. Each stone weighed tons, transported by rafts along canals, dragged across land, and lifted with ingenious scaffolding. The Khmer engineers mastered logistics on a scale rivaling the pyramids of Egypt. Every surface was carved with precision, every corridor aligned with astronomical intent. The moat surrounding the temple spanned nearly 2 kilometers, both fortress and symbolic ocean. Angkor Wat was not raised in decades of improvisation. It was executed with staggering coordination, thousands of workers moving as one. The construction fused engineering genius with religious devotion. This was not only labor for a king, it was an offering to eternity. The temple's endurance proves the success of its creators. 9 centuries later, it still stands, immense, intricate, undiminished. Angkor Wat was more than stone, it was the universe in miniature. Its central tower represented Mount Meru, the axis of the cosmos in Hindu belief. The surrounding towers mirrored the mountain's peaks. The encircling moat symbolized the cosmic ocean. Every level, every gallery, every stairway was crafted with cosmic order in mind. Pilgrims who entered Angkor Wat were not just walking into a temple, they were ascending through realms, earth, sky, and heaven. The walls unfolded stories from Hindu epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and celestial wars between gods and demons. The temple itself became scripture in stone, teaching faith through image and form. This cosmic symbolism was not accident. It was declaration that Angkor was at the center of the world, its king aligned with the gods, its empire blessed with divine order. Within Angkor Wat stretch miles of bas-reliefs, stone walls alive with narrative. One gallery depicts the churning of the ocean of milk, gods and demons pulling a cosmic serpent, churning the seas to create immortality. Another shows battles of the Mahabharata, heroes locked in eternal combat. Elsewhere, processions of Khmer soldiers march, elephants thunder, chariots roll. Every figure is carved with detail, muscles straining, ornaments glistening, expressions vivid. These were not mere decorations. They were theology and history entwined. Through bas-reliefs, the temple taught devotion, celebrated empire, and immortalized myth. No visitor could pass through its corridors without being enveloped by story. The walls became scripture, the stone became voice. Even today, 9 centuries later, the carvings remain sharp, their stories undimmed. They are windows into a world where gods and kings walked side by side, and myth was carved into the very skin of the earth. Among the bas-reliefs, one gallery immortalizes Suryavarman II himself. Here the king sits beneath a parasol, serene yet commanding, surrounded by attendants and generals. Lines of Khmer soldiers march across the wall, disciplined, armored, carrying spears and shields. Elephants stride among them. Banners wave, musicians beat drums. This was propaganda in stone, a reminder to all who entered that Angkor was not only pious, but powerful. The king was depicted as both worldly ruler and chosen of the gods, bridging earth and heaven. Through such imagery, Angkor Wat proclaimed the might of its empire. Visitors saw not only a temple, but a capital of faith and force. Every carving reinforced the king's legitimacy. Every soldier etched into stone was a vow of loyalty, forever marching in service of the empire. Behind the grandeur of Angkor Wat lay countless unnamed laborers, artisans who carved the endless galleries, engineers who measured alignments by the stars, laborers who hauled sandstone block by block. Though their names are lost, their devotion remains etched into every surface. Many were likely common villagers, summoned into corvée labor by the king. Yet to them, this was not just duty. It was merit. To build a temple was to earn favor in this life and the next. Each chisel stroke was both work and prayer. Angkor Wat thus became a collective act of devotion, the labor of thousands unified into a single offering. Unlike monuments built for vanity, this was built for eternity. That is why, centuries later, the temple still speaks, not of one man alone, but of an entire people who gave themselves to stone. Angkor Wat is unique among Khmer temples. While most were dedicated to Shiva, Angkor Wat was devoted to Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. Its westward orientation reflected this, aligning with the setting sun, symbolic of Vishnu's dominion. For worshippers, the temple was not only a palace of gods, but a bridge to Vishnu's eternal protection. The galleries depicted Vishnu's incarnations: Rama, hero of Ramayana; Krishna, slayer of demons. Cosmic battles fought in defense of balance. By dedicating the empire's greatest monument to Vishnu, Suryavarman II declared himself not only a king, but Vishnu's earthly ally. Angkor Wat thus fused politics and devotion. To revere the king was to revere Vishnu. In every carving, every tower, the empire announced that divine order flowed through its rulers and that the gods themselves sanctioned Khmer supremacy. At its height, Angkor was not only a city of temples, but the beating heart of a vast empire. The temple stood at the center of a sprawling metropolis, with markets, workshops, canals, and farms radiating outward. Tens of thousands of residents supported its daily rituals. Priests performed ceremonies, scribes recorded offerings, dancers and musicians enriched festivals. The city's wealth came from rice cultivation, sustained by one of the most advanced hydraulic systems in the ancient world. Reservoirs and canals channeled monsoon rains into year-round abundance. Thus, Angkor Wat was not an isolated shrine, but the spiritual summit of an empire of millions. It was both temple and capital, both sanctuary and symbol. Its stones carried prayers, but also the weight of empire. In Angkor Wat, faith and state were one. Though Suryavarman II built Angkor Wat, he did not live to see its completion. His reign ended in war, his armies defeated in distant campaigns. He died around 1150 CE. His body never returned to the temple he had raised for eternity. Yet his legacy endured. Angkor Wat became his mausoleum, its stones carrying his memory even in absence. The empire continued, rulers rose and fell, yet the temple endured as monument to the king's vision. Through centuries of turmoil, Angkor Wat remained, its stones indifferent to the fates of kings. In death, Suryavarman II achieved what he sought in life: permanence. His name lived on, bound forever to Angkor Wat, Temple of the Gods. In the centuries after Suryavarman II, the empire shifted. Kings built new temples, new capitals. Religion evolved, Hinduism giving way to Buddhism. Angkor Wat itself was transformed. Buddhist monks took residence. Statues of the Buddha were enshrined within its galleries. The temple adapted, its stones embracing new prayers, its halls echoing with new chants. This transformation was not destruction, but survival. It allowed Angkor Wat to remain relevant even as faiths changed. Where other monuments crumbled in neglect, Angkor Wat endured, renewed by devotion. Through centuries, it became not only Hindu, not only Buddhist, but Cambodian, woven into the identity of a people. That adaptability is why it survives today, a temple that welcomed change without losing soul. Yet beyond the temple, the Khmer Empire faltered. By the 14th century, its power waned. Rival kingdoms pressed from outside, internal strife weakened within. Most devastating was climate. For centuries, Angkor thrived by taming water, building vast reservoirs and canals. But a cycle of catastrophic droughts and floods broke this balance. The great hydraulic system cracked. Fields dried or drowned, starvation spread. The empire that had harnessed the monsoon was undone by its fury. As the capital declined, many temples were abandoned, swallowed by jungle. Yet Angkor Wat remained. Through empire's fall, monks continued their chants, keeping the temple alive even as the city around it died. As centuries passed, Angkor fell silent. Stone towers were wrapped in vines, courtyards filled with roots, walls were darkened by moss and shadow. Travelers whispered of a lost city in the jungle, a temple too vast to be real. But Angkor Wat never disappeared. Local communities knew it. Monks tended its shrines. Yet to the outside world it became legend, half forgotten, half imagined. The jungle was not enemy, but guardian. It concealed Angkor Wat, preserved it from looters, and shrouded it in mystery. For hundreds of years, the temple slept beneath green silence. Then, in the 19th century, explorers rediscovered it, awakening the world to a wonder that had never truly been lost. Angkor Wat emerged from the jungle, not ruined, but eternal. In 1860, French naturalist Henri Mouhot arrived in Cambodia. When he saw Angkor Wat, he was stunned. He described it as a rival to the greatest monuments of Greece and Rome, a forgotten wonder in Asia's jungles. His writings spread across Europe, igniting fascination. Angkor Wat became symbol of mystery, proof of civilizations beyond the West. Colonial scholars soon followed, studying, sketching, restoring. They marveled at its scale, puzzled at its origins. Though Cambodians had never forgotten it, Angkor Wat was reborn in global imagination. From obscurity, it became icon. Its towers, once veiled in vines, now stood on the world stage. In the 20th century, Cambodia was torn by war. Colonial rule ended, independence came, but conflict followed. The Khmer Rouge brought devastation, temples desecrated, monks killed. Yet Angkor Wat endured. Though scarred by bullets, its stones stood. Though its halls were emptied, its structure remained whole. The temple became symbol of resilience, a reminder that Cambodia's soul survived even in darkness. In 1992, UNESCO declared Angkor a World Heritage Site. International efforts restored, protected, preserved. Angkor Wat was not only national pride, but global treasure. It had survived kings, empires, wars, and revolutions. It had survived because it was more than stone, it was spirit. Today, Angkor Wat draws millions of visitors each year. At dawn, tourists gather by its reflecting pool, cameras ready to capture the sun rising over lotus towers. Monks in saffron robes walk its corridors, offering blessings to pilgrims. Archaeologists study its bas-reliefs, seeking secrets of art and history. Local guides tell stories of kings and gods, weaving past into present. Angkor Wat is not only a monument, it is living. It remains place of worship, place of wonder, place of national pride. Its towers adorn Cambodia's flag. Its image symbolizes resilience, creativity, identity. 9 centuries after its birth, Angkor Wat still commands awe. It is both relic and heartbeat, ancient and alive. Even today, mysteries linger. How were the stones transported, carved, and lifted with such precision? How did Khmer engineers align towers with solstices and equinoxes without modern instruments? Scholars suggest ingenious systems of canals, bamboo scaffolds, and celestial observations, yet exact methods remain debated. Angkor Wat holds its secrets tightly. Its construction reminds us that ancient peoples possessed knowledge as profound as our own, different, but no less advanced. The temple challenges arrogance, proving that mastery of earth and sky existed long before modern technology. Every unanswered question only deepens its mystery, and every mystery makes Angkor Wat greater. Angkor Wat embodies duality. It is temple of gods, but also monument of kings. It is symbol of devotion, but also of empire. For Cambodians, it is both sanctuary and identity. For the world, it is both heritage and wonder. Its stones remind us that faith can build and power can preserve. In every gallery lies devotion. In every tower lies ambition. Together they created a masterpiece without equal. Angkor Wat stands because it united heaven and earth, belief and rule, myth and reality. That union gave it permanence. That permanence makes it eternal. From Angkor Wat we learn both inspiration and warning. Inspiration, that human vision can carve eternity from stone, aligning temples with stars, engraving epics in walls. Warning, that even empires fall. The Khmer Empire vanished, its cities reclaimed by jungle, its power broken. Yet Angkor Wat remained. Civilizations rise and fall, but what they build can outlast them. Our own world, too, faces fragility, climate, conflict, impermanence. Angkor Wat reminds us that greatness must be tended, or it will fade. Yet it also assures us that beauty once created can endure. The lesson of Angkor is simple. what we dedicate to eternity may survive beyond our time. The sun sets over Angkor Wat, lotus towers glowing red in twilight. The moat reflects fire in the sky, then fades to shadow. The temple stands silent yet alive. It has seen kings crowned and kingdoms fall. It has heard chants in Sanskrit, in Pali, and Khmer. It has endured jungle, war, time. Still it rises, a bridge between worlds. For Cambodians, it is heart of identity. For humanity, it is treasure of civilization. Angkor Wat is not just temple, it is testament. It is proof that vision and devotion can outlast centuries, that stone can hold spirit, that myth can be carved into reality. As we leave its shadow, we carry its question. What will we build in our time that will endure like Angkor Wat?